Mr. Peter Gadiot! Somebody knows how to whistle. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to Essen.
Thank you.
Is that your first time in Germany?
No. I've been many times to Germany. Actually, the first leading role I had was in an independent movie that filmed in Germany. So I filmed here for 4 months, like 10 years ago.
How was it? What was your favorite part about being in Germany for 4 months?
Well, it was partly in Berlin, which is a super cool city, and then partly, I think it's called Jena? Is that right? Like, there's a castle, so we were in a is it a Schloss? And it was amazing. It was huge and beautiful and cool, and I don't know, I really enjoy coming to Germany. It's a good vibe.
It's a good vibe. I like Germany as well. And we are so happy and grateful that you're here. Because of course we're here because of what show? I'm gonna try again. They're better than that. It's a good audience. Guys, which show? There you go. That's a great show. But jumping into that, how about Queen of Scots? Like that show. That show, like how like, the role is awesome. Like how did you get? Like tell me like how the audition went. How did you get it?
Okay, so there's a show that I did which not many people know about called Tut, about King Tutankhamun, set in ancient Egypt, and it was starring Sir Ben Kingsley. And it's a mini-series, and it was really cool, but for some reason it didn't really get a lot of attention. But if you can check it out, I highly recommend it. It's
Tut, T-U-T.
TUT.
Is it on any streaming services? Do you know?
I don't know where to find it anymore.
It sounds cool.
The internet will let everyone know.
Yeah.
And so basically, I did that one, and I played this kind of badass warrior. And the casting directors for that were the casting directors of Queen of the South. And so they were looking for this role, and they invited me to come in. And I just saw it, and they just said to the producers, pay close attention to this guy, he's great. And I just got the role, and we did 5 seasons of it, 3 seasons in Texas and 2 in New Orleans. And it was super fun, a great journey. I loved playing James. Yeah, it was a good time.
And then the relationship you had with Alice Braga as well. That was tense. And how do you prepare to play that kind of gray area relationship? Do you guys spend a lot of time rehearsing?
No, it's interesting. Like we had our own processes, but I don't know. For me, I'm interested in moving away from myself and getting to the truth of what a character is. And he's living in a world where you have to, kill or be killed. And obviously that's something I can't relate to. I've never been in that situation. So, to be brutally honest, I went online and watched some videos of some cartel people, like cutting the head off, like Halloween. Because that's the world we live in. And it's really brutal. But that is the reality. Like, you have to think when I'm stepping out, if I get caught by the wrong person, they might take a machete to my head and cut it off. And so, you have to bring some truth to it. And it was obviously a very intense shoot, because every time I was being chased by police or some bad guys with guns, I was fighting for my life every day. But doing it in a way that I'm trying to take control, not show any fear, not show any weakness. So yeah, it was an interesting process, but in terms of working with Elisa, she's a wonderful actress, very committed, and we just really just jumped into the truth of the scenario. She was also fighting for her life, and you know, I realized that the only way to make a killer interesting is that if he has like a soul and like he feels bad about killing people. Because if you kill people when it doesn't matter, that's boring. But if you kill people when it really like, I swear. If you kill people and it fucks you up, then that's interesting because you're processing it, you know? And so that was really what I was playing with, about being externally strong but internally vulnerable. And it's the juxtaposition of the push and pull which really made James have an interesting character.
That's pretty cool because that's such a process, and then how you get from watching cartel beheadings to an anime character that you have to put on screen. that's such a like. Do you understand? Like it's such a big difference. So how did you prepare for that?
For Shanks, you mean?
Yeah, for Shanks. Yeah. Like how did you jump from I'm just gonna be a killer with a soul to Shanks?
Well, I mean, it's actually really interesting. I don't know if certain people here are really familiar with Queen of the South, but I kind of wasn't in much of season 4. And the reason is, because of what I was just speaking about, it's so intense, and so living with this high stakes world of life or death, it was really taxing, you know? And it's like, I'm not like a method actor, but if you're believing yourself when you're in character, you can't help but be changed by that in life. You spend 12 hours a day on set in front of the cameras, you know, with guns, living this truth. And then when you go home, you can't just switch it all off. You have the residue in your body because, you know, your body gives off adrenaline and you actually feel it, you know? So, like, imagine the one time in your life that you got in a street fight and someone punched you, right? That stuck with you. And if you're living that every day, it was exhausting. I couldn't take it anymore. Like, people always wonder why I didn't come back for season 4. I needed a break, man. I was going crazy. Like, it was really intense. And so, the reason I say that was because there was a little bit of separation between the two jobs. You know, I did a couple of jobs in between. But the way Shanks came about, you know, I was just put in touch with the creators, the two showrunners, who are wonderful guys, and we just had a Zoom meeting because it was like during the COVID era, and we just spoke about the role. And really, they just were like, "What do you think about this role? Like his characteristics? Who is he?" And I just spoke for a while, and we looked at each other and was like, "Wow, so you're a long-time fan of One Piece?" And I was like, "No, I've never seen it." Because I just got it exactly, like I knew exactly who this character was, exactly what the relationship between him and Luffy was, and you know, 2 days later I got offered the role just from that meeting.
Nice. So you really got into the guts of it, huh? That's pretty cool. And I talked to Jeff Warren before, and he said like such a great guy by the way, and but he said like it was so intense on the set, and like you have to go and like live this character that if he didn't like take off the character and leave it at work, if he come back with the character home, I think he said like I think I would go nuts. So I think this is like this intensity of you guys shooting that series. It was also there, but in a kind of different level than Queen of the South, no?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine what he's saying particularly is because he has a bit of a messed up character,
sure.
You know, and it's like when you have these kind of sociopathic energies, that's when you have to take off. But with Shanks, he's actually a really good guy. You know, he's someone who really knows the difference between right and wrong, when to be strong, when to fight, when it's really stupid to fight. You know, that's why Luffy looks up to him. That's why, you know, he's really Luffy's mentor and idol. And so, interestingly, like, those are qualities that are good for me as a human outside. So, if anything, I take them. You know, I don't want to leave them.
So do you think that playing Shanks healed you a bit?
You know what? Like, there's this movie I did which hasn't come out yet, but I played Jesus
Woo!
in that movie. And just going with what we were talking about living the truth of the character, I've never been more happy filming a movie. You know, playing the Prince of Peace, regardless of what you might think about the history or religion, for me as an actor, to turn up every day and love everyone unconditionally, that was amazing. So, Jesus healed me.
There you go. That's a good one. And I can see that there's already some questions from the audience. Alina, there's any questions from the audience? Yes, okay, let's go. Hello.
So her question is, if you could play any other character in One Piece, who would you play?
Tough.
That's really tough because there's so many cool characters. You know, it's hard to pick one, but I mean, I really love sword fighting, I must admit. I played a couple of characters who've done sword fighting. Sword fighting is just so cool. So, I don't know, maybe no. I don't know, it's tough. There's just so many good ones.
Thank you. And next question, please.
Hi, Bella. This is my daughter, and her question is Emily in person as great as Nami on screen?
Is Emily as great as Nami? I think she's greater. Emily's awesome. I'm a huge Emily Rock fan. And also a big fan of her mum, who comes and hangs out on set. So, yeah, very grateful.
Thank you so much. We had the pleasure to have Emily in one of the conventions in Dortmund. She's so great. She's so cute as well. Such a great person. The whole team seems so, I don't know, I don't want to say well adjusted because maybe I'm wrong, but that's the impression I have. Like everybody's just so kind and loving to the fans and they always talk about the whole team, which is such a kind word. So can you tell us more about this kind of family feel on the set?
Yeah, no, you're so right. The whole cast is really genuinely cool. You know, the best thing is sometimes when you go, you film in a place that isn't anyone's home. So in this case, we're filming in Cape Town in South Africa, and you don't really know anyone there apart from who you're working with. So you do, as you said, become a family, and you know, you go to restaurants, bars, and you hang out, you explore the place you are, and it's kind of like a summer camp, you know. And everyone's great at their job, and as you said, you know, everyone's very kind, and for a lot of the cast, it was like their first big job, you know? And so I think that also leads to a sense of like bonding.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, but it was great. Like, I'm a huge fan and I'm still in touch with the guys. Yeah, no, genuinely, like, you know, and I'll be honest, not all the actors I've worked with are cool, but the One Piece cast are really cool.
But we can feel it on the screen. There's just, you know, it translates for us, for fans, just how cool of a team you are and how those relationships are genuine in some level that are between you guys. And I can see that there is another question there. Hello.
What was your favorite moment on set?
What was your favorite moment on set?
There's so many good ones. It's really hard. Like, I have two. Can I give you two? So the first one, when we were filming The Sea Beast, right? It's just that we're in a water tank in the middle of a sound studio, right? And it's huge, like it's giant. So it's like a man-made lake, and they have this little boat, and they have wind machines and wave machines, and they have this crane, and it's just so epic. And they have all these like fog machines, and so for a second, the fog kind of cuts out all of the crew, and it's like you're literally in the ocean with this like storm going, just me and, you know, young Luffy in this boat, and it's quite just it's like a magical moment. So I'd say that one for one. Secondly, when we were, when I first went to the village and saw the amount of detail that they put in, and I was hanging out on the ship with the crew for the first time, passing it around. I mean, they did such a fantastic job in the art and the set design. So just to see the scale, they actually built a huge ship. I mean, honestly, that's rare. Usually you have like a tiny bit, and the rest is green screen, but they actually built the whole ship. So that was epic. So being on there for the first time was definitely.
Thank you so much. And I can see there's a next question there.
Hello, I was wondering, you have a Spanish background? You have a Spanish background, your father?
No, on my mother's side. Yeah, my father's Dutch.
Oh, so no hablas en español?
Sí, sí,
Poquito?
sí, poquito.
Hermoso.
Thank you so much. And now we're going to do a test, a language test.
Yeah, genau.
So you can speak Spanish, Dutch, English, anything else?
Und Deutsch, sehr gut.
And Deutsch. There you go. Very excited. And I can see there is another question. There you go.
Did you know Buggy at the set? Did you meet him?
Did you meet Buggy on set?
Yeah, I did. You know, obviously, like we didn't have any scenes together, but one day, I can't remember if I was filming or if I was there for like, I don't know, a costume thing or something. But I went into the big top tent and saw them filming some scenes, and I saw him. And honestly, like there's a lot of makeup, so it's so cool to see him. Very, very cool.
Is he really that crazy?
Yeah, the truth is Jeff's not acting at all. He's like that in real life. Don't tell him I said that.
He's just being himself with a little bit of makeup. Thank you so much. And next question, please.
Hi Peter. You just said the set was pretty detailed. Did you take anything from it? So did you steal something?
What did you still say for the set?
Any good thoughts?
You know, I don't think I did steal anything.
By accident.
I don't know, like, there's so much cool stuff, but you know what, like, I travel so much, I'm basically like a nomad, and so I like to be a minimalist, so even when I'm given things, I often like give them away, because I like to just travel with a backpack and go, so I don't have a lot of clothes, I don't have a lot of objects, and I like to get rid of things. So as much as I love the sentimental value of objects, it's not really who I am.
Okay, that's also nice.
Thank you so much. And we have time for one last question, so no pressure. Make it good.
I'm not sure it's all that good, but if One Piece was a Muppet show or movie, who would be the human?
The Muppet Show?
Yeah, and there's always one human, so who would it be?
And which of the characters would be a human?
Yeah.
Oh, good one. Lucky.
I mean, I would say Luffy.
Human? No, I think Luffy would be Kermit the Frog. Someone very like chatty and energetic. I think Santa would be the Cookie Monster. I don't know the Muppets well enough, to be honest. It's been a long time since I've seen the show. But I don't know, for me, I think the humour would be the more sensible one, huh? Don't you think?
Maybe.
I think maybe Shanks would be the humour, He's got his head screwed on, he knows what's happening. I think the other ones are kind of like pretending to be things, and he's like very true to himself. He's got nothing to hide, so that's what I go for.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your questions. Thank you for being here. We're going to have you tomorrow on the stage as well. so we can chat a little bit more. And guys, if you have any questions to Peter, you can always find him on his signing booth.